Forge Gang! I am still a hard man! Let's go! Sha, sha. Sha, 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 sha. Sha, sha. Sha, sha. Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Imperator of Forge. I hope you're having a great day. Having a great day today because I'm Imperator of Forge, and I am still a hard man. Now, there are these, look, I don't know how to put this, but I really don't need to see advertisements on YouTube between video segments, these advertisements that pop up, that talk about, like, the history of disability. I really don't give a shit. I legitimately don't care about that. Okay? I'm not interested in something like that. It would be like, let's say I'm African American. Let's say that I'm African American, and I see, I'm playing a game. I'm having fun. I'm playing a video game or whatever. Let's say I'm playing Halo Wars. Let's say I'm black, and I'm watching a video or something, and then a commercial pops up, and it talks about, like, the KKK or the Ku Klux Klan or, like, terrorism and something about slavery. Okay, I would personally not want to see that. I would not want to see that. Or it would be like, if, let's say I was Jewish and something clicked up on the ad that talked about gas chambers and stuff. And, I was just having a fun time, just enjoying myself, rolling a buzz, smoking a joint, drinking some beer and some gin and playing a game. I saw an advert like that. I would not really want to see it. So, thing about a word to YouTube is that I really don't need to see shit like that about the history of disability rights and stuff. I do not care about that. I do not really care. And even when I do care and research about it, it's not when I'm trying to have fun. Okay, I'm not on here to watch that. Okay, I don't want your identity, your liberal libtard identity politics, blue-pilled identity politics, and, like, all these amazing little milestones that happen through history. No, I don't care. I would rather play my game or watch what I want, like, say, Academic Agent. Say I watch Academic Agent, that is what I'm focused on, is the subject there. I don't care about your little group identity politics, so go away. Bye-bye. Get lost. I'm not interested. Anyways, so Alister Mycroft has been caught lying. He's been caught making up nonsense, like he always does, but he's regarded. He's incredibly regarded, so that's no surprise. He's always regarded. He's always been regarded. But He's been trying to say that him and Kraut and T are best buddies. They've never talked to each other. They're not pals. Not by a long shot. Oh no. Kraut and T. He made many a streams quite a long time ago about how this thing called race, this little thing called about, biological realism, simply wasn't true. It was just scientifically improbably. And so Kraut and T talked about how fishies, yes, the little fishies that come up, how they breed with archaic selection theory, and how it was able to prove beyond a doubt, the shadow of a doubt of a scientific theological thesis about how salmon reproduction had proven that there was like biological relativity or something in selection. Yeah, dude, that's actually not really that informative, to put lightly. It's not exactly very informative, Kraut and Tea. Not exactly the most informative thing that you've done. I am channeling my inner Nick Fuentes, but I'm just not enough of a zoomer, alas. I don't have the zoomer. I just don't have that zoomer postmodern fatigue that Nick Fuentes has. But anyways, Kraut and Tea and Alister Mycroft were never buddies. Encyclopedia Dramatica actually says that Alister Mycroft, who back then was pro Adin Paladin. Oh, but he's been the longest Adin Paladin A-log. No, he hasn't. He used to be Adin Paladin's biggest troll supporter. And she used him and then dumped him because she didn't need him anymore. Nevertheless, back in the day, let's see here. Here we go. This was back in 2017. It was a long time ago, back in 2017. Here we go. Oh, dude, Kraut looks like such a soy. What a soy jack. Okay, that's it. Braving Ruin. So Alister Mycroft used to be the biggest simp of Adin Paladin. He was Adin Paladin's biggest simp. And he got screenshots of Kraut and Tea, and he gave it to Burning Ruin and to Mr. Mediker. To get payback at Mr. Mediker and Braving Ruin by suing them. Let's see here, screenshots. Okay, so that's Alister Mycroft's little 15 minutes of fame. The only thing of relevance that he has ever done, his 15 minutes of fame, was in December of 2017, when he got screenshots of Kraut and Tea wanting to sue Braving Ruin and Mr. Mediker. That was Alister Mycroft's 15 minutes of fame. Some 15 minutes of fame that was. The only time in all of the history of the internet that Alister Mycroft was not looked on by the sector has completely autistic and regarded a complete waste of time and just a weird, creepy guy with some odd sexual fetish for Adin Paladin was in December 2017 when he took some pictures allegedly of Kraut and Tea saying that he was going to sue Braving Ruin and Mr. Medicare. And that was Alister Mycroft's 15 minutes of fame. Just not quite the starfishing that PPP did. Just not quite the starfishing. But that was his 15 minutes of fame, and as soon as it was over with, people forgot and moved on, and that was it. Everyone moved on and forgot about it, and that was it. Interdimensional Lizard says, Forge! Anyways, I'm going to look some more into Francis E. Deck-esque also. Oh, yeah, fucking, Dark Ninja and King of Pole were in a VC, yesterday. I didn't really add much input, I just kind of listened. Dark Ninja was so shy, so deluded, and so butt-broken that he had to use a bot to speak. Dark Ninja doesn't even talk anymore himself. He uses a bot. And it's like that's his life now. He drinks. He's an alcoholic. He's probably always had drinking problems, but poor guy has been evicted. He lives with his parents now. Dark Ninja's been evicted from his place that he was renting. And he vacillates between different communities. He vacillates or oscillates between communities. And he tries to just basically, he's an interrupter. He's a party pooper. He's the kind of guy you don't want to invite to a party because he'll take a dump in the punch bowl. That's Dark Ninja. He puts his stuff in the punch bowl. He puts a giant turd in the punch bowl at the party. That's why you don't want to have him around, because he is a disruptor. He is just like Dr. Roxo, and he is not going to like that comparison because apparently Dr. Roxo would make screechy noises or like these noises and stuff, and he would interrupt like in group voice calls back before Discord was even a thing. So before Discord existed, there was another streaming site. Another hosting site for people to call in, get into a group call. And apparently Dark Ninja and Dr. Roxo both would make screechy noises and would do everything they could to interrupt the group VC calls. Well, Dr. Roxo is gone, but Dark Ninja is still around. And he comes and goes, and he is an interrupter. He makes up fake provocations with people, makes up false provocations, and then whenever he gets a backlash or gets the reaction he wants, he leaves. That's all he is. He's looking for a reaction. He is a disruptor, and he's just looking to get reactions out of people. I don't even really care to even say the things he talked about because it's pointless. It's boring. Mano a mano, it is nonsense what he talks about. Nothing he says makes any coherent sense. Um, I don't know if he takes medication, but that guy is indeed a spurg. That guy is a bona fide spurg, and he changes his story. He's always changing his life story. He is always trying to start drama. He is always, always, always trying to start up some kind of drama with people. And he always tries to play the role of the victim. And then when he doesn't have his way, he goes to another community. He goes to another community and he tries to start something up there. He vacillates or oscillates between communities and stuff. It's kind of annoying. But apparently the Kiwi farmers are starting to get on to his shenanigans. I don't know everything that's going on, but apparently Strawberry Douche found out that Dark Ninja was not getting bullied into VC calls with Plate Gang in Discord. They watch Impressa's uploads, and they do actually watch Impressa's uploads on YouTube or on Rumble. I guess someone posts them to Kiwi Farms, and they watch him. They watch Dark Ninja go in of his own accord and start up drama, fake drama on his own turf. And he's been going after Lame Wire Jesse. And he's also been following around a person called Jazzy. So it's just, I find it so weird that in every server that I find these troons in, and whenever I'm in a VC and people are talking about troons, troonography, and about like this gay fake internet sex stuff that it's usually not even real women, it's just troons, he's always in there listening. He's always in there. Every time. I kid you not. He is always there listening to that. And he is always participating. He is always there with the troons. When the troons are there, he's there. And he's always participating in that kind of stuff. In that really just bizarre talk that they do in some of those VCs. Not all of them. But he's always there. Dark Ninja is always, 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 always in the VCs with those troons. And what's so funny is that that's also when he's not trying to start drama. Well, he started drama with Olive Oil. Like, he tried to pull Olive Oil away from King of Pole or something. Or trying to get Olive Oil to not talk to King of Pole. He's just a weirdo. Like, he really is just legitimately just off. I don't know if he takes medication. I don't know if he takes medication or what the deal is. And he's not the only person who's taking medication in those VC calls. Like, that stuff gets weird. Even for me, that shit just gets weird fast. And it is just bizarre. But I'm only there to kind of just listen in. I don't really add much input. I just kind of listen through it. But it's gotten to where he just repeats everything now. It's kind of it's an oscillation, and he's just in repeat mode. And it's the same exact things. The same exact things from 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and it's the same loop over again. It's a playback loop. And he is the only person in those servers, in those Discord servers, who still talks about Zoom and Roxo and the old Plate Gang people. Nobody else talks about it. Nobody else brings it up. And he is in playback mode, and he does not move on. He will not move on, and he will not change his habits. That's what I've noticed. He is still trying to say the same things that Zoom and Roxo said in 2022, 2021, 2023. And it's like Dark Ninja is like Grossly, except when Grossly moved on, Dark Ninja did not. Dark Ninja is still several years in the past. Several years in the past. He has not moved on. He doesn't get over it. And it's just I don't really care. That's why I'm not gonna even waste my time even talking about what he says, because it's just the same reverberated stuff that was being said years and years ago that nobody cares about because everybody else moved on, and he is the only person that will not move on. But the Kiwi farmers finally have got on to him. They've gotten on to what he does, his shenanigans. They tell him to not go into Discord. Okay, the Kiwi farmers tell him to not go into Discord and don't go around those people that he says are Plate Gang. And then the Plate side tell him to not go to Kiwi Farms, don't go to Josh Moon's site, but he does. And it's all put up on his onion farms. It's all there on his onion farms, and it's so incredible. And by the way, those are not the only communities that he's vacillating or oscillating between. There's a few others too. He also goes on to onion farms, and he's on King of Pole's page. He might be on Troll Cow's page at times, but yeah, he is a lol cow of sorts. Not a very entertaining lol cow, I gotta say. Not exactly a very entertaining lol cow, but he is very much a lol cow. He's got like a 77-page long onion farms, and it's screenshot after screenshot of his cope. He does not move on. He doesn't try to get his life in order. He has just destroyed his life. I think that we could all agree that he's destroyed his life. He's not going to get it back together. It's a catastrophe. He is a horror cow. He is definitively a horror lol cow. And he's probably going to end up like Music Biz Marty. He might end up like Cyrax, but he kind of really is, in a way, the sector's Chris Chan. He kind of actually really is legitimately this side of the sector's Chris Chan or Cyrax. And while I don't think he's as stupid as Chris Chan or Cyrax, he's not much brighter. And that's just... I don't mean to be mean about it. I don't mean to be ugly about it. And then, people are going to ask me, well, is he a child sex offender? Is he a child sex predator? No, he's not. But I do think that he's probably jacked off to some very questionable material. Does he still do it? I don't know. But he is just a very questionable person. And he's been into some really bizarre stuff. If he is not himself doing that, he's definitely friends with and close to people who do it, without a doubt. Lame Wire Jesse and Damien being good examples of that. And he hangs out with these people. It's like If you don't want to be called a child sex offender, stop hanging out with child sex offenders. Don't socialize and interact with them. It's that simple. Not even online. Not even on the internet. Don't go to freaking Walmarts trying to look for predators. And you won't be called a child sex predator. It's that simple. Anyways, yeah, so Interdimensional Lizard says, Forge! Yusuf Eren Kaka says, who are you, bro? I am Imperator of Forge. Forge Warhammer. And you have a wonderful day. The rest of your day. Good, sir. Look, I don't think that Dark Ninja is like... I don't think that he's like that far gone to Chris Chan levels, but he's getting there. He's very rapidly getting to like the Chris Chan levels of just absolute tinfoilery or whatever. Does he need help? Maybe. I don't know. Does he need help? Perhaps, but he's in Rewind right now. If Dark Ninja ever does get his cassettes out of the Rewind, maybe that'll be a good new start for him. But Dark Ninja, you really do need to get your cassette tapes out of Rewind. You need to stop living in the past, and you just need to get past this stuff and move on. None of these communities that you're in are going to ever respect you or listen to what you say because you've already burned your bridges. You burned every one of your bridges, and now you're just going to have to start over.